हाँ तो बच्चों, मैं समझ सकता हूँ कि इंट्रोडक्टरी पार्ट वाज अ लिटिल हेक्टिक फॉर यू, बट लेट मी टेल यू वन थिंग। जब तक आप बेस में नहीं जाओगे, लाइक until you diagnose a disease, you can't find its cure. The problem is, generally teachers used to teach just learn Dalton's atomic theory, then Rutherford theory, then Falana Demara. That is just disease. And cure is what? Cure is from where it has started. कहाँ से शुरू हुआ और उसे किस लेवल तक लेकर जाना है, that is more important. So year-wise discoveries which led to our understanding right now of atomic structure is a different thing. And when you just try to grab it, this is the theory, this one is the theory, this one is the theory, you won't get anything from it. Now, in the last section, I forgot to tell you about J.J. Thomson has got, yeah, that he has got 8 students. And all of 8 of them got a Nobel Prize in their fields. First of all, Ernest Rutherford. I will explain you in tomorrow's video. Ernest Rutherford. Second is Charles Glover Barkla. He was also very intelligent. The most intelligent was Niels Bohr. Niels Bohr was the most intelligent person. He never gone to any chemistry lab, or he never carried out any experiment. He just gave his hypothesis mathematically in his study room and just got Nobel for anything, whatever he. You know what? When system fails to explain, then comes the role of mathematics. And if you know very well mathematics, then I'm sure that you can easily understand chemistry or physics or science, whatever you want to understand. Maths is the basic thing. Maths is a language. The next thing is the most talented. I want to say that Niels Bohr and Max Born were approximately of same IQ. Both had same IQ. But the difference lies that Niels Bohr worked in a different manner and came early, while Max Born given that theory which led to the discovery of Schrodinger wave equation. Schrodinger wave equation, in the later section, in the last section of our videos, I will explain it to you. Schrodinger equation was the most important equation, and Max Born just gave the physical relevance of wave function, which was later on explained by Schrodinger. It was William Henry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth student was William Henry Bragg's spectrometer. I will explain you what is a spectrometer. Then the Owen Williams Richardson. This will you will study this thing in your higher classes. He gave Richardson law, very important law. And the next is Charles Thomson Rees Wilson. He gave also a theory which right now you have not to worry about it. There are very few of them who gave, and we need to study them. And the last one, the most brilliant. I won't say most brilliant. I would say the most brilliant were these two. Still, all of them were brilliant, but 19-20 difference. They were 20 and they were 19. George Paget Thomson. He was the son of Joseph John Thomson, and he also got Nobel Prize. I guess you remember in the last section I told you that what he gave the theory about what he gave theory. He just oppositely gave another theory, and both of them got Nobel Prize. So now we are going to move to our main course, which is atomic structure. This was just the introductory part, and we will now study about the atomic structure by the simple understanding and hypothesis. हाँ तो बच्चों, अगर आपको याद हो, हमने मोल कंसेप्ट में we read about Dalton's theory, which was the last atomic theory, and Dalton's atomic theory was not enough to explain all those things which lie in the depth of atomic structure. As remember, I guess you remember the lot of discoveries happened there from 1832 and 1932, etc. So, what was the problem behind Dalton's atomic theory? We will learn about this in this section. Dalton's atomic theory was unable to explain the following things. What were these things? Stability of atoms as after the discovery of subatomic particles. Because right now we know that there are subatomic particles also do exist inside atom. It was electron, proton, neutron. So Dalton just told us that atom is undivided, indivisible part of the matter, and we cannot divide it, and there is nothing smaller than atom which can exist in this world. But later on subatomic particles like electron and neutrons were discovered, so it already diminished the Dalton's atomic theory. The next thing is to compare the behavior of one element from the other in terms of both and physical properties. As Dalton told us that atom is the smallest particle, and all the matter of the universe contains this atom, and all have same property. But you know very well, sodium atom is different thing, potassium atom is a different thing, both behave differently, iron atom is a different thing, both have physical and chemical differences. So, to explain the different kind of molecules by the combination of different atoms, he also could not able to describe that when two atoms combine to form molecules 2 or 3, he was just failed. To understand the origin and nature of characteristic of electromagnetic radiation. Right now we know that electromagnetic radiation electromagnetic radiations live inside our vicinity. For example, the bulb has got electromagnetic radiation. Lot of things like your phone is working, or your laptop is working, your internet is working with the principle of electromagnetic radiation. Dalton was obviously at that time he just so behavior of glass and ebonite rod when rubbed with silk or fur which generates electricity. तो उनके हिसाब से एटम न्यूट्रल था, it can't do anything, it is same all over. But later on we found that when two materials like glass and ebonite when rubbed with silk, they repel. Used to actually in my childhood I used to rub my scale over my head, dry head, and just put some kagaj, paper, small pieces of paper which it just attracts. So lot of things those were not explained by Dalton's theory. Now after Dalton's theory, let us move to another section where we will start from 1830, where Michael Faraday was doing his experiment in his lab and discovered lot of things. So let's move to another section. So in 1830, Michael Faraday discovered that certain substances when dissolved in water conduct electricity. So Michael Faraday, याद है मैंने बोला था, when they discovered electricity, they tried to put all over electricity. Just check. They wanted to check what happens when electricity is applied over A, over B, over C, over D, and etc. As it was X-ray. When X-ray was discovered, just like a child, you give him a gun, he will put on everyone's face. As exactly as electricity was discovered, magnetism was discovered, and X-rays were discovered. X-rays, alpha rays, beta rays, gamma rays, etc. So what was he doing? He did certain experiment in 1830s where he found that when something dissolved in water, it conducts electricity. When he put electric wire on both sides by putting electrodes, he found that electricity is conducted. So he found that mass deposited at electrode, whatever be the mass at electrode was getting deposited, was directly proportional to the charge transfer. Charge means the electricity, when you put electricity in that solution, the charge from battery was moving into the solution, and he found that the greater the number of charge which was passing, greater the mass, was liberated over both the electrode, cathode or anode. So later on in 1850s, he was not a good boy. He wanted to do everything with electricity. So in 1850s, what he did, lot of scientists were performing discharging the experiment, but especially Michael Faraday studied and gave effectively its principle and conclusion successfully. What happened? He took a glass tube. This was a glass tube. This is a glass tube. He took a battery, and here it is the electrode. You know, when negative terminal of the battery is connected, then it is known as cathode. This electrode is known as cathode, and this electrode is known as anode. So what he found that when high voltage he was passing through these electrodes, a certain type of boom thing was happening at that time. So he thought that there is something crazy in it, and he tried to explore it more. So in the next section, we will try to find out what happens next and how did Michael Faraday find the subatomic particles. So he first of all, let us explain this thing of glass tube. This tube contains glass tube with metal strips called electrode. These one are electrodes sealed in it. They were sealed, and here you are seeing a hole, but actually it was not hole. It was a pump, pressure pump, which usually creates a vacuum in this area. So he just sealed in here, and what he did next, when electricity is passed at, this is the most important line, low pressure. You know, when you just vacuum through this tube, then the most major section of the gas will pump out, so the pressure will fall, and high voltage means this battery has got very high voltage. And when this happened, so what did he notice next was current starts flowing through a stream of particles moving in the tube from the negative electrode and the cathode to positive electrode anode. So what he did, he just found that there was a spark like this, and a certain thing is just moving from negative electrode means cathode. Here I am going to name it cathode to here this thing anode. So he found that something is moving from cathode to anode. Just he found a discharge. So I guess you have heard of a TV, black and white TV. In my childhood, it was just like a cathode ray tube, like this. Here there was a light, and this was the kind of TV, and black and white TV, and just whenever electron bombard over here, there is a fluorescent material. Fluorescent material means whenever electron strikes to it, it just glows and gives a mark. Like if you have to turn a person into, you have to shadow the image of a person. You just have to ऐसे समझो ना कि एक इलेक्ट्रॉन का एक ऐसा बॉम्बार्डमेंट करा जाए कि उसी जगह जले जहाँ पे वो ह्यूमन दिखे, है ना, कुछ इस तरीके से। ये कैथोड रे ट्यूब भी है, आज नहीं, ज्यादा नहीं, अभी 1998 तक की जितनी भी टेलीविजन हुआ करते थे वो कैथोड रे ट्यूब हुआ करते थे। They were called cathode rays because the ray were traveling from cathode to anode, hence they called these cathode rays or cathode ray particles. अब अगली चीज, when holes were drilled, what happened next? He thought there is something moving from cathode to anode, so he just simply what he did was that he drilled a hole. I am just making holes. No? Hole. So he put first of all he put holes in that electrode, and he applied a fluorescent material here, so that if electron or any charged particle strikes this surface, then it will glow. And this fluorescent material was zinc sulfide. So that is the fluorescent material. And again here, though there was no need to put ZNS here because it will be discovered later in canal ray discovery, proton discovery, ZNS. So what he found that something is moving from cathode to anode, and this thing just show a glowing effect over the surface, and this glowing effect can only be seen with the help of ZNS. And one more thing, if you put some pedal like this, pankha, so whatever be the thing was coming, it was just rotating this wheel. So it was completely relevant that these particles move from cathode to anode, and it has particle-like nature because whenever you put something over pedal, it will move. Then for sure it is a particle because only particles have that kind of tendency to move them. So what he found? He found that something was moving from anode to cathode, and it can only be seen if we drill a hole in the electrode and there is a fluorescent material on the screen. Next thing, the hole was drilled in the cathode and a fluorescent material applied over the surface, then bright spot on the coating is developed. ये experiment किया था Faraday ने, and Faraday found that there is something which is just the basic thing. It was the basic thing, and what the next thing is, no matter which gas you want to take here, the nature of these cathode rays were universal. Either you take hydrogen gas, either you take ammonia, or whatever gas you want to take it, but you have to make it pressure very low and the voltage should be high, and the ray was exactly similar. So the basic idea Michael Faraday put forward was that these cathode rays particles are the basic thing, and it is found in the all matter, and here comes the discovery of subatomic particle. But he never explained what is this, what is its physical relevance, what is its mass, what is its charge, which will be later on explained by other scientists. Next thing is, what was the result of cathode ray tube experiment or CRT experiment? Actually, cathode rays start from cathode and move towards anode. We have already learned. These rays are not visible. These were not visible, as you know, those were electrons. At that time, we didn't know that it were electrons, but right now we know. These rays are not visible and cannot be seen if fluorescent material is there on the screen. You remember, I had fluorescent material applied over it. Characteristic of cathode ray. Cathode ray has very unique characteristic, and it is that it do not depend upon the material of the electrode. Whatever the electrode you want to take, just take it. It was never dependent on the cathode ray. Its electrode और the nature of the gas present in it. यानी कि दुनिया में कोई सी भी गैस ले लो, कोई सा भी इलेक्ट्रोड ले लो, the ray or the cathode ray which were coming from cathode to anode has universal nature and the same nature. So here it was the basis where J.J. Thomson just sorted out these things, and he understand that this cathode ray is the basic thing or basic material which later on in 1891. Let me tell you, 1891, G.J. Stoney proposed that cathode ray particle are electrons. The first time the word electron came from the mouth of G.J. Stoney. मतलब ये है कि जो एक्सपेरिमेंट था, इट वाज क्वाइट क्लियर दैट कैथोड रे पार्टिकल इज द बेसिक पार्टिकल एंड इट इज फाउंड इन द होल नेचर एंड इट हैज सेम थिंग एंड लेटर ऑन इन 1891 G.J. Stoney thought that these rays are the basic fundamental unit of all the atom or matter, so he proposed the name electrons and he cannot explain about it very well, so later on J.J. Thomson from his experiment explained about it, and the tribute to Mr. G.J. Stoney was given that the name was from that time was electron. So let's move to the another section. As you know, in 1919 protons or positive rays were discovered, but right now I don't want to go in the middle of those discoveries. I'm just going to write down the canal ray discovery. Sorry, I forgot to explain this last characteristic. Its properties in the presence of electric and magnetic field was same as of negative particle. याद रहे, the particles nature was already understood that if it was negative particle, then by applying magnetic field and electric field, it could have been diverted like as of negative particle. So now these are the bases which led J.J. Thomson in order to discover E/M ratio in 1897. Remember, 1891 already G.J. Stoney told everything, and what he did, he took all those experimental data and discovered another cathode ray tube and just given this formula of E/M ratio, and we will learn about it in the later section.